Welcome to Dynamic Drop, where darkness descends and nightmares come alive. Brace yourself for chilling tales that will keep you on the edge of your seat. Let the horror begin.
Chatur Part 2. The Growing Darkness. The figure watching me that night was only the beginning. As days turned into weeks, I began to feel an ever-growing unease, a sense of being watched wherever I went. The dreams continued, more vivid and terrifying than ever. Each one was a grim tableau of disaster. Earthquakes splitting cities apart, floods washing away towns, and firestorms engulfing landscapes. Each time I woke up in a cold sweat, the images seared into my mind. Sarah tried to be supportive, but even she couldn't hide her concern. "Emily, you're not sleeping, you're barely eating. This isn't healthy," she said one day, her voice filled with worry. "We need to find a way to stop these nightmares." "I don't think they're just nightmares, Sarah," I replied, my voice trembling. "They're warnings. I think something wants me to see these things. But why? And why you?" Sarah's questions hung in the air, heavy and unanswered. I didn't have an answer. All I knew was that the events in my dreams were happening with increasing frequency and accuracy. It was as if some dark force was showing me the future, a future full of chaos and destruction. But what could I do about it? I felt powerless, like a pawn in some grand, malevolent scheme. Then, one night, the dreams changed. Instead of the usual scenes of destruction, I saw something else. Myself. I was standing in the center of a desolate landscape, the sky above me a swirling vortex of black and red. My eyes glowed with an unnatural light, and my hands were stretched out as if commanding the very elements. Around me the world crumbled and burned, as if in response to my will. I woke up with a start, gasping for air. The dream had felt so real, so terrifyingly real. Could it be possible? Could I somehow be connected to the destruction I was witnessing? The thought sent chills down my spine. I couldn't possibly be responsible for these events. Could I? As the days went on, I couldn't shake the feeling that something within me was changing. I felt a strange, almost magnetic pull towards the darkness in my dreams. It was as if some part of me was awakening, something ancient and powerful. I began to have thoughts and desires that weren't my own, dark thoughts of destruction and chaos. One evening, as I was walking home, I felt a familiar sensation of being watched. I turned around, and there, standing in the shadows, was the same figure from before. This time, I could see their face, pale, almost inhuman, with eyes that seemed to pierce right through me. They smiled, a cold, knowing smile that sent a shiver down my spine. "Who are you?" I demanded, my voice shaking with fear and anger. The figure stepped forward, their voice soft but commanding. "I am your guide, Emily. I've been watching over you, waiting for the right moment." "Guide? What are you talking about?" I felt a surge of anger. "Why are you doing this to me?" "Because, my dear, you have a destiny," they said, their eyes gleaming with a sinister light. "A destiny that has been written long before you were born. You are meant to bring about the end, to be the harbinger of a new age." I recoiled, disbelief and horror flooding my mind. "You're insane. I would never do something like that." The figure smiled again, a smile that chilled me to the bone. "Oh, but you already are. Haven't you felt it? The power growing within you? The dreams are just the beginning. Soon you will understand your true nature." I backed away, my heart racing. "Stay away from me." I turned and ran, not stopping until I was safely inside my apartment. I locked the door and collapsed onto the floor, my mind reeling from the encounter. What did they mean by my true nature? Could it be possible that the darkness I felt was real? Over the next few days, I couldn't shake the figure's words. The power within me, the dreams, the feeling of being watched, all of it pointed to something far darker than I had ever imagined. I began to isolate myself, afraid of what I might do, afraid of the darkness I felt growing inside me. One night, as I was lying in bed, I felt a sudden surge of energy. It was unlike anything I had ever felt before, a dark, intoxicating power that flowed through me like liquid fire. I sat up, my hands trembling. I felt as if I could do anything, control anything. It was exhilarating and terrifying all at once. As I struggled to control this newfound power, I realized that the figure had been right. There was something inside me, something dark and powerful. I didn't know how or why, but I was connected to the destruction in my dreams. And the more I resisted, the stronger the pull became. I began to fear sleep, knowing that with each dream, the line between reality and nightmare was blurring. The destruction I saw was becoming more vivid, more real. I could feel the heat of the fires, the rumble of the earthquakes. I could hear the screams. Desperate, I reached out to Sarah, telling her everything: the figure, the power, the dreams. She listened, her face pale and eyes wide with fear. "Emily, we need to get you help," she said, her voice trembling. "This isn't normal. You're not safe." I shook my head, tears streaming down my face. "I don't know what to do, Sarah. I feel like I'm losing myself. I don't want to hurt anyone, but I don't know if I can control it." Sarah hugged me, her grip tight. "We'll figure this out. You're not alone." But even as she spoke, I knew that there was no turning back. The darkness was inside me, and it was growing stronger every day. I could feel it, like a beast awakening, hungry and powerful. Questions to ponder. 1. What is the true nature of the power within Emily, and where did it come from? 2. Who is the mysterious figure, and what is their connection to Emily? 3. Can Sarah help Emily control her newfound abilities, or is it already too late? 4. As the dreams become reality, what role will Emily play in the unfolding chaos? Stay tuned for the next part, where the mystery deepens and Emily's struggle with her dark destiny intensifies.